There's a Little Britain sketch where it's what's his face going, Andy, where are you? And then Andy's up a tree and he goes, I'm up here. And then Lou goes, how'd you get up there? And Andy goes, I fell.
Only 7 years late or something to that one, Scott.
Hi guys, we're the Peaky podcast. I'm here today with Andrew.
Hello.
Scott Zeal.
Hi there, James.
And the man, the myth, the bun, the legend, Connor Marshall.
You're right, genuinely got a bun in, so that's a little bit weird.
We're here today to talk to you about stories, about what we've done this week, maybe some derps. We've got some wonderful little segments. I'm going to start off with a little bit of Scott. A little bit of Scott.
A little bit of Scott.
A little bit of...
I'm going to start off with a little bit of Scott, not talking about Scott at all.
Yeah, it's not about Scott, but...
I think he's trying to pass it over to me.
Wow.
He's basically he's lost track of his intro and he's just trying to...
Yeah, it is an absolute shambles.
No. A relay. I am passing on the baton.
Uh-huh.
There you are, Scott.
Baton dropped,
thanks,
Andrew
James.
picks it
I'm
up.
passing you the baton. Andrew, I am
James has
passing you the
gotten us off to a weak
Connor.
start. All the other
Connor.
nations are ahead of us. Now we're handing the baton over to Scott,
Connor,
hoping
then
we
you'll
can
be going on the
gain some
board
ground.
and continue to speak over me.
Connor's getting over-eager, he's jumped before the
Definitely
gun.
not gaining any ground with James still firmly holding the baton and yelling at everyone
James,
else.
you've got to let go.
Okay, well, if James will let it go,
Can't hold me back
we are all
anymore.
very, very happy today. You might be wondering why. Let us tell you. I don't know if anyone stayed up to watch the Oscars last night, but
We did.
Leonardo DiCaprio has done it, everybody.
Fantastic.
He did it. Connor and I stayed up. Andrew went to bed and then woke up again for work, and me and Connor were still up watching the flipping Oscars. There were so many adverts, but it was worth it in the end to see how happy that man was. And so we wanted to I wanted to put it to the group. Are we all pleased? Because I was ecstatic when he won it. I went mental.
Well, when I won it, I just got a load of vibration in my pocket at work, where it's just like, he did it! He did it!
And you were like, really? And we were like, yeah.
I genuinely thought you were trolling
Hold
me.
it in. Because me and Scott were watching on live streams, and the one I ended up on was a few seconds ahead of Scott. So I heard, and the Oscar goes to Leonardo DiCaprio. But being the good pal I am, had to hold in my reaction until I eventually hear Scott go, yeah!
See, it's funny because all night previous to that, I was a few seconds ahead of Connor, and I was
Scott,
not
however,
a
was
gentleman.
not so considerate.
I was just like,
He's a-
yay, Mad Max! Yay, this
He's
film!
terrible
I was
for
like,
it.
Scott, please stop. And then it'd be like, I'd just go, oh, this one's disappointing, Connor. And he'd be like, Scott. And I'd be like, I didn't give it away. I just said you're not going to enjoy it.
There's no, link between his mouth and brain as to what comes out, and then he then thinks, oh, crap.
No, and I'd be sat there asking him, Scott, please, just wait for my reaction, and then we can discuss.
I can't remember if he's done it to me before.
You could tell he'd heard me, but whether he was going to register
It's just
it,
not
nah.
registered at
Next
all.
one, yay, Mad Max.
But
Was for Mad Max.
I'm
I was just
extremely happy.
excited.
I
Star
thought
Wars didn't win anything.
no.
John Williams deserved it.
Yeah, we thought John Williams should at least get the music. 'cause
Who's
he nails that every
John
year.
Williams is a music person, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Mind
this
you, the
was
guy
his
who did
50th
win it
Oscar
looked
nomination.
really old. Like the guy who did win it was really old, and he looked like he was really chuffed with it and
Was
choked
Italian.
up, which was nice.
But who
And he was humble.
Leo against? Because I saw he was against Fassbender for Steve Jobs.
He was against
The
Bryan
Martian.
Cranston for Trumbo.
Trumbo.
I've
David
not
for
even
The
heard of
Martian.
Trumbo.
Eddie Redmayne in The Danish Girl, which I thought Eddie Redmayne was going to win again, because obviously he portrayed Stephen Hawking last year and
Yeah.
won it, and then obviously this year
Which I was angry about.
gender reassignment was big this year because
Which
of
I was not
Caitlyn
angry.
Jenner,
Caitlyn Jenner is a hero.
and then and an
Busy, bro.
inspiration. But yeah, I thought he was going to end up winning it. But then you've got to remember the people who mark the Oscars are like 70-year-old men.
Mark,
or
it's not a
whatever.
test.
Well, the ones that assess it.
You mean the Academy?
Who was the original guy? Trumbo, Fassbender. There was a fifth.
We've said them all, haven't we? Matt Damon,
Yo,
Martian.
mama.
because
Really?
Matt Damon in The Martian was really good. 'Cause
Oh,
it-
was he? Oh,
Yeah, that was
he
nominated.
because it was basically his own film, wasn't it? He was just alone,
Was it?
and he was really good.
Well, right. I
You've
thought-
watched The Martian,
No,
Andrew? Yeah,
when you
he's
said
alone
basically
for a
his
lot of it.
own film, I thought he directed the whole thing. But it was literally just 2 hours of just Matt Damon, and it was quite funny.
Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
But I think the build-up of, everyone knows there's the loads of internet memes. Everyone knows that he's due one. He ate raw bear and raw horse or something. He climbed inside the horse's
he didn't
carcass.
eat raw stuff, did he?
Yeah, of course he did.
What do you mean, of course he did?
That was one of the things that people were tipping him for. They were like, in The Revenant, he ate raw meat and
He's pretty desperate.
climbed inside a horse. So,
I'll be honest though, I haven't seen any of the films that the actors were nominated for, but it didn't seem like a particularly strong category this year.
Yeah, I'd say The Martian was good. It was a very good film, but he wouldn't go like best of the year.
all of
So
them
yeah,
were good,
it's like
not
Leo's
great.
won, but has he won? Is it the big win that he actually deserves, or is it well done? It was a bad year, so you've got it this time.
Well, I suppose, yeah, you always look... I think Spotlight won Best Picture, which is that film about the true story film where the investigators start uncovering all the priests molesting and stuff.
Oh, God.
And that was tipped to scoop
Scott?
the awards because of how much the Americans enjoyed that film. What, James?
Did you mention priests?
I mentioned priest. That's what that film's about. The Catholic Church and molesting children. It's like a
Are you
factual
trying
thing.
to be a rapist? Is that what you're trying to tell me, Scott?
No, I'm not. I'm not even going into that profession, even though you're none the wiser.
James seems to
But
think
yeah,
so.
Connor, I agree. You've got, The Wolf of Wall Street. I think is when he should have won it because he's incredible.
Oh,
in that.
that is so
100%.
good.
That's not
Absolutely
an Oscar film
100%.
though.
No.
That's the
Exactly.
sort
Yeah,
of
that's
film that goes to the
him
Oscars
with
and comes away with an
drugs,
award.
hookers, swearing, everything.
His
And
scene on
the
what was
guys
he
that
on? Was he on
enjoy it.
amphetamines or something where he's like
Yeah,
crawling
like-
towards a car?
in the flipping Lamborghini? It's incredible.
Yeah.
Mind
But-
you, saying that in The Revenant, when he gets attacked by that bear, and obviously in the film he's
This is where he
covered in
gets dragged along
scars
the
and
floor.
stuff. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know how they did that in the film, but he's still acting as if he's got his throat cut and he's covered in scars, and it's like you genuinely believe he's about to die and he's covered in scars. So he does great acting there. But then what's the other film he was?
I
Obviously
think
you got Titanic,
Django
but
is
that
one
was
he
his
could have won
first.
it for, but he wasn't in it enough, I think was the problem.
Yeah, he
He was
was
the lead
he's more
in
of a
Django,
side.
so
Yeah.
I suppose he could have won. Well, he wasn't really a supporting either, was he? He was just kind of in it for that one because that's when he actually cut his hand open, didn't
and
he?
then just
Yeah,
carried
but-
on.
It's just a lot of the films he's been in. Like he's a world-renowned actor, and it is frustrating. But it almost became like a gimmick. It's almost like the Oscars took it as.
I'm gonna miss the
Let
memes.
That little fuck boy have a little Oscar this year. It's kind of like it's just like finally when he won it, and now he's won it. It's kind of like
Yeah, it's,
The
it's
he won
awkward
it for
thing
an
was-
average film. Like he won it for a film that's not as great as the other films he's been in.
Yeah, it's a good film. It's not going to be one of those films I'll watch at least once a year or go back
No,
to.
but that's
I
the thing.
enjoyed it at the time, but yeah,
Like,
I kind of feel like I'm just glad he won it. Like it shows that he's a good enough actor.
Yeah,
win
it's
an
not
Oscar.
to do
doesn't
with
really
it being
matter
for
what
this film. It's just the fact that he's deserved it so many times over the years. We're all happy he's finally got one. It doesn't really matter what film it's for.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but did Matthew McConaughey win?
All right.
For Dallas Buyers Club.
Did he win it for that? But did he also
Yeah.
win it for Interstellar?
I don't know, it's quality in Interstellar though.
Or
Murph!
was a headache from it.
Murph!
I mean, unless you're a dumb fuck, then you don't get Interstellar. And then, well, I didn't even know what I was about to say. I'm going to shut up because that made no sense.
Wow, Interstellar had a major flaw in it of how did the
Having a
humans
fifth
get through it the
dimension.
first time? Because it was humans that sent the wormholes back. I mean, this is... I'm just going to leave it because this is way too complicated to get
honestly,
into in a
there's
podcast.
diagram. If everyone that's watching this that hasn't got Interstellar before, go on Google and type in Interstellar plot. I think it's timeline, and it will basically show you like a mind map of what happens, and it's really, really good. Like it shows you, like, someone's actually been that sad to make a mind map of how it
Someone's
works.
been that
and
sad
it's
to
really, really
Google it,
good.
like
It made
James.
me
Yeah.
a clue. I mean, can you imagine me, the man that thought that Scott was going to be a fucking priest?
Yeah, so I do law at uni, and James thinks at the end of it I get to marry people. That's what he genuinely thinks I do on my degree.
If they watch the other videos, then maybe they'd,
That's a good point. Go and check out the YouTube channel. Nice time to plug. www.youtube.com/the Peaky Podcast. But yeah, I also wanted to bring up quickly with the Oscars the whole a lot of black people not turning up. The Oscars really took it in their stride because not only did 1 in 2 presenters, not only were they black, but they were ripping them to shreds. There was a whole segment they did. They took the mick out of The Martian, where it was Chris Rock stuck on Mars, and then they were like, it's going to cost $2,000 to get him back, and they were like, nah, we'll leave him. Just tell the press he died, and they were just taking them. And there was a whole segment where they ridiculed Will Smith for not turning up. And then all the aristocratic white people are all just sat in the audience, clapping, awkwardly laughing, because they're like, yeah, we kind of did this. Yeah,
They're
but
just
it was just
I
so
don't
funny
want to
'cause
look racist. Clap, 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 clap.
I thought it was going to be awkward because Chris Rock is obviously black, and I thought, but he just took it in his stride. He was just taking the mick. They even sold cookies at one point to raise money for his daughter's cookie scout group or whatever. But may I segue things on, gentlemen? Is that okay?
Can I go? Final thing for the Oscars.
Go on.
Obviously, Leonardo's acceptance speech was good. I like to think though that secretly him and Tom Hardy aren't real friends, and when he's going, Tom, great actor, without you none of this was possible, he's going, you're second best, mate, stick in your lane, you little prick.
Did you win supporting actor, mate? Oh no, you didn't. Sorry, pal.
It's all about me.
I don't want to think that.
No, I mean,
that's made me sad.
They're both awesome, but could you imagine it's just a huge insult to him, just behind the scenes, he's just like, yeah, you little prick. He's also developed a British accent.
Just to ridicule Tom.
Just for that. Well, thanks for that, Andrew.
Go for it now.
From one award winner to another, I am, of course, talking about our Lord and Saviour,
Jesus
Shrek.
Christ.
Somebody once told me the world
Roddy's gonna roll me. Louise and I went to Shrek Adventures in London this last week.
What is Shrek Adventures? Set it out for us, Scott.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. I thought it was going to be Cadbury World, where you just go around, you look at stuff, and there's placards to read.
Well, I don't want to
really
take away from your
them.
story, Scott, but apparently you don't get chocolate at Cadbury's World anymore.
No, you do. I went in the summer, and you do. You don't get as much as before it was owned by the Americans. Before it was owned by the Americans, you could have as much chocolate as you could fit in the palm of your hand.
Thanks,
they would just
Obama.
stack it in like 12 bars. But now it's kind
But
of
you
like...
would have thought the Americans would be the ones to give out more chocolate. What's going on?
No, well, they've just been a little bit more careful with the money. I think you get a certain amount of bars per person. So you get a Whisper, a Caramel, a Flake, and a Freddo per person. So if you've got a family of 6, it looks like you get loads of chocolate, but actually you've just got the same as if you went in there by yourself. But yeah, you still get chocolate, just disappointing. But anyway, I thought it would be like Cadbury World, where you walk around, there's a few plaques about this is the history of DreamWorks, and then move on to the next bit, don't read stuff. But it was really good. It was kind of like you go in and you get this magical bus to go far, far away, and then you go through Shrek's swamp and all of the places in the land to try and escape from that Rumpelstiltskin guy who's bad. And it was just cool because all the characters were in character, obviously.
Well, they're actually real people.
Yeah, they were real people dressed up as
I'm sorry, James. Did you think Shrek was there?
What? You mean they were people? You mean Shrek's not real? No,
They didn't have a donkey walking around.
You know
Donkey!
You know that transvestite barman who's dressed as a woman but's got a man's voice?
You mean fucking Cinderella's sister?
Yes.
Do you not know Shrek off by heart?
No, well, okay, that guy that's like, hey there. That person was there, and he was really funny. And it was kind of like you go into all of these different rooms, and then you'd see all the characters, and it'd be a little situation where you got to get through to the next room to then eventually escape from Rumpelstiltskin, and Shrek kept appearing. It was just really funny and really good. No, it could have been. Well, Connor, you didn't even know this, but you've done that beautifully. There was a hall of mirrors, a maze. which
Oh, wow.
was the first one I've ever been in, and it was great because you always think, well, it's just stupid, you know, if there's no
You've never
reflection
been in a
front of you.
Mirror.
No, I thought, you know, if there's no reflection in front of you, you can just walk straight. It's obvious, but you genuinely have to go really slow, like, and then every now and then you touch a wall, and you're literally looking at yourself, but your brain's still like, maybe I could go through there.
There should be a challenge to sprint through one of those mazes and just get KO'd against a mirror.
Well, I wanna bring up another point. I felt bad.
Scott's currently talking to us with a huge lump on his head from where the mirror maze.
No, there was a few people on the tour group that did walk into the glass, and it was too hard not to just burst out laughing.
Was it like when the girl fell up the stairs when me and Connor were watching The Force Awakens, and she fell up the cinema stairs and
God.
her water bottle fell on the floor?
That was hard.
When you
I
look
don't
at
know
each
this
other-
story. Tell this story.
You never
We must
heard
have told you.
No,
I think we'll actually
I've never
see-
heard this.
No, I've never heard it.
Scott, would you say this is your derp, or
What?
would
Well,
you
it's not
say-
Scott's
isn't-
derp, is it? He didn't walk into a mirror, although it must have been difficult, especially
No, I didn't walk into. No, my
say
dad
someone
was
walks into a mirror, even though you're round the corner, because there's so many mirrors, they can still see you laughing at them. There's no escape.
The whole of-
All
You're just like
reflections point back to you.
20 mirrors down, and they can still see you.
Okay, so you guys are going to save that for our I derped up this week segment.
We didn't derp.
Well, that can be James's derp then. That's what he wants to bring in. Is that cool, James?
Yeah, it's fine.
Fantastic. And then if I may transition again, so Shrek World was great. He met Shrek at the end as well. I put a photo in the www.facebook.com/the Peaky Podcast
Yeah,
Facebook group. Put it on there, me and our Lord and Saviour Shrek. But yeah, it was really great. And then I have another quick story. I'm sorry to keep talking.
Another quickie.
I also went to see Foals with my friend Ashley and friend of the show, Ashley Moore. Shout out to Ashley Moore.
Foals is a band, by the way,
He's
for
probably
anyone
not
who
gonna
doesn't know.
listen, so yeah, Foals the band, really good. It was a really mental gig, mosh pits, everyone was going mental, nearly passed out. But the highlight of the whole thing, the amount of times we'd gone to the toilet, things are just livening up. Ashley looks at me and goes, "Scott, I need a wee." And I'm like, "Ashley, we can't go to the toilet because we'll lose our place and we'll be at the back." And he was like,
What
"Okay,
are you,
well."
American middle school girls? Can he not just go on his own? Ashley's a big lad. He can look after
No,
himself.
but we were in the Barclaycard Arena, so it was like if he went out to the toilet, there's no way he could push through like 6,000 people.
He's
on
a
the
rugby
floor.
player.
Yeah, it's not about that. Like I'm happy pushing through, but a lot of people don't like pushing through. Like Ashley doesn't like pushing.
Forms a maul at the back of the crowd and just charges through.
Runs. But yes, so anyway, he's like, "Scott, I need you to find me an empty cup on the floor." So I'm like, "I can't believe this." So I eventually find one, I pass it to him, and then I just hear a zzz, and I'm like, no.
What,
no,
amongst
no.
all the music?
That's the point.
Well,
surely
I'm stood
surely
right
he's
next to him, so I
surrounded
can
at
still
this
hear
point.
him.
Like it's
Yeah,
got
but
to be
it's dark,
pretty.
isn't it? And people are looking at the stage, so no one knows he's got his todger out.
Well,
Because
no.
everyone's hands are by their sides anyway.
Somehow the front man of the band manages to clock him. He's like, he's got his knob
Stop
out!
the song! Stop the song! Yes.
Pausing the music, you just hear this trickle of Ashley weeing into a cup.
Everyone looks round. But yeah, so he's doing it, and I'm just kind of there, like giggling, like my head in my hands, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. And he's still going, and he goes, Scott, and I go, what? And I look down, and this pint glass is really full. Like he's filled it, and I'm like, oh, don't tell me you need another cup. And he's like, no, I'm done.
It's
I'm
not
done.
stopping, it's not.
But it's full. So I thought I was going to have to get another cup and fill it, but thankfully he finished. But then we had a pint. Well, he had. I didn't touch it. And he was just going, Scott, it's really warm. It's really warm. Where do I put it? And I was like, you're going to have to throw it. And he was like, I can't throw a pint of piss in the air. And then the guy that was stood the other side of Ashley was noticing that we were giggling like little girls. And then he looked down and saw the big pint glass and was like, huh? Is that why you're laughing? And we were like, it's piss. Stand back, mate. And then this kid's face was like, as if we were going to throw it at him like it was a game show. And we'd come here for him, like, right, there he is, he's got it, spotted. Yeah, so for like a whole song, Ashley has got this pint of piss in his hand, really warm, and then thankfully things started to, there's a few more moshy songs, a big mosh pit forms, so Ashley creeps in where the big gap is, pops his pint of drink on the floor. Well,
He just
well,
gets
not,
His pint of drink.
not pint of drink, yeah. So, well, I don't know. Any podcast listeners like a bit of wee? But yeah, so pops it on the floor. Pops it on the floor and then just legs it. And he's like, Scott, I threw it in the mosh pit, And then we just both
I'm a bit
turn
thirsty in a mosh pit, so I
We-
thought I'd drink my own piss.
round. So we just turn round to see the mosh pit close up, and what I can only assume is at least 8 people's trainers.
Damn, Daniel's white van's covered in yellow piss.
Back at it again with the yellow van.
Damn, Daniel.
But it was just so funny how because it was dangerous. Me stood next to him as if he had like an explosive device or something. We were both like really cautious of people nudging, and I was trying to move away from him because he was carrying this. Like if he'd have dropped
Did
that,
it smell?
not really, but you know it's just a
What
danger.
did
of
it
Like,
taste
if,
like?
if he got nudged from behind, it was at the level where even just the slightest angle, it would spill over the edge because he had filled this thing.
Cut angle.
Ashley goes around with a gold medal.
So again, sorry to again keep talking, but I guess
No, you know what,
Ashley.
Scott? You've got the stories. You go for it, mate. The floor
Thanks,
is yours.
So I guess you could say that was Ashley's derp of this week, and I thought, because I derped up this week, I wanted to ask you guys if you also derped. So I don't know if you want to do yours first or if I do mine
Oh
first.
no,
and then open
I've
the
been
floor up.
I've been waiting to hear yours.
Okay, so apologies if it's not very funny or if no one likes it, but I just burst out laughing when this happened. So I was cooking, run out of food. All I've got left is this frozen bag of
Oh,
Richmond
that's such a
sausage.
Sorry, you were cooking and then you ran out of food.
No, I'd already run out of food.
That's
I
right,
began
okay.
to cook. So, sorry for all of those confused at home.
Just cooking.
So
oil.
I began to cook,
You've got the hot on, but there's nothing here.
and I got out the big bag, 28 frozen Richmond sausages. I was quite excited because I haven't had sausages in a while.
Giggity, yeah.
And looking forward to, just getting my food ready. But there's one problem. I can't open the bag. So I thought, do I get scissors? No, I'll just pull. Like a packet of crisps. You just grab each end and you just pull until it opens. So I'm there for maybe 15 seconds just pulling just really pulling it apart.
Hulking out.
Yeah, and then my Hulk ended up being the death of me because the bag opened. But in such a way where my arms were pulling so far apart, my arms just flung to my sides, and this bag of 28 thick sausages flew across the kitchen. So we're talking like smashed against, not smashed, but like we're like all over the tops, whacking against the fridge, all across the floor. It sounded like I dropped a load of plates in there. I just flung 28 sausages across the kitchen, and I'm there with a half a bag in each hand, and I just burst out laughing because I'm finding sausages under the fridge, in the fridge as well, because the door was open ajar, and then I've got to go around counting my sausages to make sure I've not lost any.
One sausage.
And obviously I then destroyed the bag, so I had to eat all of my fish fingers to put them in the fish finger box because I've got nowhere to put my sausages now. But yeah, that was my derped up
That's
this week.
quite the derp.
Because that was silly of me. So I don't know if anyone else wants to take the floor.
Connor Marshall, the time is now.
The time is now, is it?
The
I've got
baton
a couple of
to
things.
you.
Because when Scott first proposed this statement, he was talking about his dad
Connor,
this week.
will you spend the rest of your life with me?
You know what, Scott? I think I might do. Is that the answer you give if someone proposes? Like, yeah, go on then. Maybe.
Yeah, why not? Don't see why not.
But yeah, no, Scott was I was talking about this week, so I thought, have I derped it this week? And I realised the only thing that's happened this week was I had a mini, not even a derp, but just a little sort of brain freeze at Nando's. Scott will just be happy to hear the word Nando's. Yeah, so,
Sorry, Connor. That sounded like I was being a dick, but actually I took that moment of silence to take a drink, and then I hear you go, Scott will be happy, silence, and I'm then just dribbles everywhere. Just dribbles everywhere. I am very happy to hear Nando's.
But yeah, no, go to Nando's. James was there. We went with a couple of other friends from uni just to celebrate finishing off all the old deadlines we've had. It's been a tough week. Yeah, we had a great time.
Gonna get fucked next week, yeah!
But no, I decided what I want. In my head, I had it prepared. 5 chicken wings with 2 sides, corn on the cob creamy mash. Now, at the time, I decided that the heat of my chicken, I wanted the lemon one. Even now it's escaping me. Scott, what is it? Lemon and
herb, Connor.
Lemon and herb. Yes. Right. Okay. That's what that was plan A. What had happened was I get up to the counter and I was immediately thrown off because the lady on the till was one of these people who's a little bit too happy to be working at Nando's at midday.
You can never be too happy to work in there.
And was one of these people who, she was lovely and she was all smiling, happy to, well, you say it's a benefit that she was happy doing a job, but she's also one of these people who talks very fast.
Nando's with benefits.
She was probably
yes.
snorting Nando's sauce out of the bag.
Yes, she was talking very fast, so I got lost a couple of times. So by the time I actually got there, I'd completely forgotten lemon and herb, and literally the only thing I could think of at all for heat was lime. So I just went, the lime one?
Connor's gone in there going, what were they? Lime Calippo, please.
No, so it's like, how hot would you like your chicken? I was like, I just sort of looked at lime?
Oh my god.
She was
Just
like,
named a
mango
vegetable.
and lime, and I just had to
fruit.
go for it. I was like, yep, that one. So that was a little brain fart. So I walked away
What
from that
a
feeling.
bloody
Walked away from
moron.
that, muttering to myself, going, "No, you're a fucking idiot, Connor.
This is why I can't make any friends.
You've come in here, you want to have a nice meal, and now you've left a fucking mug."
Oh my! I'm disappointed in you, Connor.
I was
expected
disappointed
more
in
from
myself. Luckily, it arrived, and we had a nice meal, we had a good time. But the big story, which the whole derp got me thinking about, and any time a topic like this comes up, I don't think this is debuted on the podcast yet. So I thought, you know what, might as get it out in the open. Scott and Andrew are going to have a good time
Connor,
talking
Connor
about
gets
it.
really close.
Yeah,
to the
just
mic,
for those
sorry.
few
Sorry.
words to
Peaky
emphasise it.
Podcast.
I was readjusting. But yeah, you two will have a good time because you were there and you love this story. James, I'm sure, loves hearing it. But I think the major derp in my recent life, well, I'll give you a guess, boys. Where do you think I'm going with this?
These nuts?
Is it your friendship with James Cain?
No, that is not a derp. That's one of my greatest achievements.
We love
Love you, buddy.
Is it your top bun?
It's not my top bun.
Well, it should
Connor,
be.
you really
It
shouldn't have
should
opened the
be.
floor to this, should you? Because we're not going to stop.
Tattoos?
If I say Sainsbury's car park to you two,
Oh
Right.
god! Oh,
Would you like us to?
do you
explain
want to
this,
put this on air, Connor? Or
you know what? I think it's a good story, and we can laugh about it. Well, I say we can laugh about it now. You two started
as
laughing
Connor's
about it
insurance get times by 10 after
instantly.
the
No,
air?
insurance is absolutely fine. But what we'll do, Scott, is I'll tell the official version of the story, and then you can come in with the changes you two like to make to try and make me sound like even more of a tip.
Okay. I
So
agree with
what
that.
happens is, where were we going? What were we even? Oh, we were going around
Sainsbury's.
yours,
We're in
weren't
a
we?
Sainsbury's car park, Connor. Where do
No,
you think
but I
we
mean,
were going?
why were we even on the way to Sainsbury's in the first place? But we were all going around Scott, so it was me. I was driving.
To get some
Scott and
nibbles.
Andrew were in the car, as well as James Sanders, who you may have recognised from some early Peaky podcast videos.
Literally no, just a Pinterilla video. The guy was a great laugh.
And yeah, so we decided to stop off at Sainsbury's, get some snacks. Looking for a place to park. Usually, when I park in Sainsbury's, I don't want to be near anyone else. I just go straight to the back and just pull into where there's guaranteed to be at least a couple of spaces next to each other. But for some reason, I was feeling confident. I shouldn't have been. So we're closer to the store. It's fairly busy. I see a space, but I see a space a little bit too late. Think, you know what? No, I'll swing into this one. It's a short walk to the store.
Could I just say
Swing it
here,
round.
I don't even
Go on,
drive, never driven a car in my life. I'm thinking, blimey. In my life, my Julie. I'm thinking, blimey, he's going a bit fast here. He was... I've never driven a car in my life.
This is the guy who's never driven a car before. Never had a lesson. And even Andrew sat there going, hang on a minute.
I didn't even say anything because I just thought I'd be ridiculed by everyone else in the car who could drive.
Well, the problem was, I was going faster than you would to approach that parking space because I wasn't originally planning on it. But I thought, no, I don't want to walk all the way. I don't want to so there's a space here. Go to swing into it. And, well, let's say we left it a little late. There's a little bit of a bump on the car next to us as we go in.
He mounted it, pretty much.
A little bump.
See, this is where Scott and Andrew take over and seem to think that this person didn't have a car left and that it was a complete write-off.
I felt the altitude change when we hit that car.
So I will now gladly take the wheel, as I should have done in this instance, to
don't give it
prevent
to Connor.
crash. So there's Connor, sees the space. Obviously, he's got his 3 mates in the car. First time he's driven us around everywhere. He's not going to take it slow like he was on a lesson, is he? Whips it in. We hit the car. And then we kind of like stop.
Well, hang on. I want to
silent.
clarify that. That makes it sound like I was trying to be Billy Big Bollocks, like, watch this parking. No, this was just, I'd left it a little bit too late, but at the time didn't realise, so I thought I was swinging in, and then, oh dear.
And then, so we hit
Disaster
the car.
struck.
We hit the car, and we stop for a minute, and it's silence, and then me, Andrew, and James are all like...
No, you've missed a crucial bit. He
I'm still going.
He hits the back bumper and then accelerates and keeps going.
No, Andrew, I'm still going.
That's false. That's a
what I'm
false
getting.
part.
No, we stop and then Connor accelerates more.
After
and the car
first
goes
hit,
up.
I did not then accelerate.
It may have been more momentum.
No, you definitely, because we hit the car and kind of stopped, and then you continued driving to get into the space. So we scratched along his car.
Committed to the space. We did.
We scratched along his car, and then the car as if we'd come down from a speed bump, the car went down a bit because we'd gone up so much. And then it's all complete silence in the car. We've scraped along that car, we've stopped, we're in the space, and Connor just goes, better reverse out of this one, then. And we just... it was the hardest
literally
point in my life.
James May, Top Gear. Connor walks away to call his mum, see what to do, and we just start crying with laughter.
Yeah, so we go. Connor's
This is the moment where I realised that I'd grown up and things weren't as they were as a kid. Because I ring my mum, I'm like, I don't know what to do. Do I leave a note? I was able to rub most of it, but it was literally just scratches.
Yeah, Connor had pretty much zero damage on his car.
But it was scratches. I was able to rub all the marks off of the car. I was able to rub all the marks off of my car. I wasn't going to go rub in someone else's car because that would look weird.
No, God forbid.
So yeah, I ring my dearest mother. Mum, I've had a knock in Sainsbury's car park. What do I do? Should I leave a note? Do I wait for the person to come out? My mum, who, you know what, I look up to. I'm close to my mum.
Lovely woman, Katrina.
My mother dearest, Katrina Marshall, goes, move the car.
Drive. I've got a passport ready for you to go to Hawaii.
Get out of there. And I'm just on the phone wait, what? And she's like, move the car, move it up to where you usually park where there's no spaces. Don't worry. All the marks on that car are from people bashing me in Sainsbury's car park. Just move the car. I'm like, okay, mummy.
Leave. It's karma.
I also vividly remember.
Me, Andrew, and James have got out. We walk in silence to get some baskets. We're stood outside Sainsbury's with our baskets. All 3 of us just explode. I've got tears coming down my face. We're all going, we're going to reverse out of this one. And then we look back over to see Connor leathering it out of the car park. And we're like, what? And then he goes around the roundabout, comes back in and parks at the other end.
Where do you get this from? I never went round the roundabout.
I vividly remember as well.
I didn't leave Sainsbury's. I just went to the other part of the car park. I didn't drive home, come back, no, I've literally just come here. This is the first time I've ever been to Sainsbury's.
I remember when it happened, we all got out of the car, Connor's ringing straight away, and me, James, and Scott just kind of stood there, and we look around, and there's just this woman walking past, and she literally just goes... shake of the head, pure disappointment on her face.
Judged.
Oh,
you'd been spotted by 2 other people, and then you just left, parked it somewhere else, and then we're stood with the baskets outside the door. You walk on over yep, let's go. In the shop we go, just
who fancies some Maltesers?
I figured it was best to just move on. But no, that's my major derp of my adult life. So, if anyone else has got a derp, fucking try and top it. I dare you.
I think
So now
even a good
everyone
derp
knows
is just...
gonna have to reverse out of
However,
this one.
that has worked out for the best because since then my parking's been ace. I've used that as inspiration to never have a cock-up parking again. Never
And
mind
I
whether
can
we're
never
reversing
park
in or
anywhere
going in
without
forward.
Connor saying, "Oh, gonna judge you now, Scott." Connor's
Well,
just
that was the worst
relishing in
part.
thought.
Literally just before it happened, James Sanders pops up in the back as a joke goes, well, now we're going to judge you on your parking.
Oh,
Poof, hits
I
car.
remember that.
Fuck.
Fail.
Better reverse out of this one.
oh, absolutely incredible. I'm glad we've now got that story out in the
Yeah.
open as well, because now we can use that quote.
So that's the thing.
non-stop.
I'm happy to laugh about it now, but it was literally the worst thing. The fact that I had to spend all night with you guys round Scott's. I couldn't
Yeah, 'cause
get.
I
Oh
slept
my
around mine
God.
all night as well, so we've been constantly just going, gonna have to reverse around this one. Ha ha ha! Gonna have
As
to
soon as
reverse around
Scott's
this one.
mum gets home in the morning, guess what, mum?
Connor crashed in Sainsbury's. I love that. Mum gets home, none of my business at all, but I'm straight into there like, Mum, Connor crashed in Sainsbury's, drove off, and he said, I'm gonna have to reverse out of this one.
Oh, I was crying. It was literally like Top Gear James May moment.
Because I wanted to just laugh along, and I was happy to. Like I knew as soon as it happened that there were going to be jokes. So
But
you
they're
know,
still
but
going, Connor.
every
This
time that just that night it came up, I was just like, "You're a fucking idiot, Connor. What are you doing?"
It was
So Andrew, as soon as you start driving, mate, I'm going to be on you.
I am going to be start driving soon, and hopefully I'll try not to mount and sexually assault any of the cars. You know.
But yeah, that's. You know what? I'm glad that me and the listeners are so comfortable that I was able to share that story.
Right, well, on that segment, what we're going to do is we're going straight to some news.
Oh god, here we go.
James
Cue the different jingle.
James' climax.
It's not Pokemon Gym Battle. What's
No,
wrong
this
with
is
you?
Holby. This is a start of Holby City.
Pokemon
One
Gym
of the
Battle.
Actually, casualty. That was a terrible analogy of Holby. That wasn't Holby City one. Anyway, welcome to James' news stories.
What?
Today we've
Why
got
was
a
there
lot-
the
Is
pause?
James is news story.
James.
His news story confirmed.
Breaking news, I am the news story. Anyway, we've got the story here today, and are you ready for it, guys?
Are you
I'm
ready?
Ready? Are you
Connor, we
ready?
can't have been both born ready. One of
Why
us is
not?
going to have to back down.
Well, it's not going to be me.
You know what? I'll back down then.
Damn right you will. See that, guys? I asserted myself. I just had to be bold, and I got what I wanted.
Okay, well, what we've got here is marijuana mum smokes bong as it makes me a better parent whilst reading storybook to a toddler.
100% agree. Imagine her imagination. You know, you're probably reading this thing going, oh, fucking Dora the Explorer again, fucking great. She's now
but the
living
thing
it.
is, do you know what makes it worse? The book she reads is called It's Just a Plant, and it's about this.
Let me
Oh,
sit down. I'm going to educate you now.
a children's story about marijuana.
The government are going to tell you it's bad, but as the book says, it's just a plant.
tomorrow
You tuck
night.
yourself in. Get ready.
Tomorrow night we watch the Pineapple Express. Oh
But
dear.
it's very, it's a very sort of,
So
to
what's the
point
news
this
story
week.
here? Does she get caught? Has she been arrested?
No, because she uses it for arthritis. She has like.
Oh, so it's medical. It's prescription.
Yeah.
Okay.
Medicinal.
She's not just hashtag 420 blaze it.
No, it's not. Smoke weed every day.
Hot box in her kid's room.
Oh, we're going to get fucked tonight, Susie.
Did I mention how old? Did I mention
Can't
how old her
sleep.
kid was?
You go and sleep now, son.
Did I mention how old her
daughter.
kid was? Or
Go on.
she's
Don't say a
2.
couple of... Oh no.
What?
The kid's 2.
2?
What? What?
Just Andrew's
Hey.
age.
Oh,
Andrew's
God.
favourite age.
Too old.
That kid's at an age where it's not even going to remember anything anyway.
We won't do
So
it.
it's,
Well,
it's not
just
like
a
she's
scarred
she's not like she
childhood.
has to
not when
make
it's
the
been a
stories-
high
No, yeah, no, it's always a
Memory
fucking
was
guy.
Definitely going to occur.
Oh my gosh.
Christ. Bloody Nora. Well, yeah, so that's my little short story.
Quick improvised topic. We kind of share the same YouTube channel. It just popped up in the history. Scott's just put in our chat. So someone, confess to who you are, has watched a woman try female condoms for the first time. He was on YouTube watching that.
Yeah, obviously, as we have the channel we all upload to, some people forget they're still signed into it when they then go on YouTube and watch. I do it all the time with music, so a lot of the time we get recommended music no one else likes.
Connor Marshall.
But I've just gone on there right now.
Connor Marshall.
I've just gone on there right now, and there is a video saying girls try on female condoms for the first time. So I want to know. I want to
Is
name
it BuzzFeed? That sounds like a bloody BuzzFeed video.
Yeah, that
It is a BuzzFeed.
Right,
Of course
well,
it's bloody
right.
BuzzFeed.
Well,
Everyone-
it's either Connor or
Guilty
James,
as
then, isn't it?
charged.
Because all I had to do was say the title of it, and Connor goes, "Well, it sounds like this channel." To be honest with you, Scott.
But
It is
here's a
BuzzFeed.
question.
It wasn't me though.
I was gonna say,
it
what
wasn't me.
colour
Wasn't it?
BuzzFeed is it?
Got it in the counter. Wasn't me.
Well, it's one of you.
Oh, I can
two.
actually fully admit that it wasn't me.
No, wasn't me.
Well, I'm not being funny. James
Andrew
is
Ward.
not been
It wasn't
non-stop
me.
giggling, and Connor. All we've got to do is say the title, and Connor goes, "Ah, that sounds like BuzzFeed uploaded today at 6:47."
No, it did sound like BuzzFeed, and I was right, so I'd like points for that. But it wasn't me.
As,
We don't need any points. We're trying to. This is a trial, Connor.
I imagine if
What,
James
does that not happen in court? Is there not a point system, Scott?
if
That's
James,
one for the defendant.
Just like when they could reach the judgment, it's like had they not scored that one in extra time, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
you're
the
going
judge
to jail.
doesn't actually make a verdict based on the jury. He's just got a little tally he's been making. He's like, right, just got to do the totting up.
Yeah, it's on pars as
Not
well.
guilty.
Whenever there's a par, he's like, right, fair play. So,
Imagine-
Andrew,
I was just going to say, imagine if James just walks just to Connor's accommodation now. There's just female condom wrappers all over the floor.
yeah, there's a
that
knock
like
at the door.
walk, he's
James
like Leicester,
walks in.
Damn it, Connor, you've bought the wrong ones.
Like he's just like got his arms on the shelves, like pulling everything off into a big bin bag. No. Wait a minute.
I'm not decent.
Oh. So, Andrew, when I think philosophical points,
You think Andrew Ward?
the intricacies of the universe, I think anything other than Andrew Ward. But unfortunately, we're going to Andrew Ward for that exact thing now.
Why you got to be
Wow.
so mean?
Why you gotta be
so
rude?
rude?
Here's something,
Okay.
That wasn't planned, but God, I'm happy it happened.
daydreaming. Maybe it's a shower thought. Think about this. There is no physical evidence. Today is a Monday. Yet I accept it's a Monday.
Bullshit, I've got a calendar right here that tells you it's a Monday.
Is there physical evidence?
Yeah, my fucking
There
calendar.
is not. There is not an exact day, Connor, where it started.
Well,
I've
it's,
just-
it's when they sorted stuff out, Andrew. That's like saying the number one isn't that shape. You know, it is because somebody said
There's
it's
no
that shape
physical
and everyone
evidence.
agreed.
But this is a podcast. There is the fact that it says podcast.
So Andrew's now gone to cry.
Right. I'm going to hit you with another.
Go
The
on,
ob-
another one.
Another one. The object of golf is to play the least amount of golf.
No, that's Jaden Smith.
No, James. Yeah, that's the next game. James is giving you a little insight
The
into our
object
next
of
little
golf
game.
is to play the least amount of golf.
That
Well,
does
yeah, I
make
guess
sense.
so. Well, no, it does. You obviously want to hit the ball the least amount of times.
So technically, I have won at golf today. I am the best golf player in the world because I haven't
no,
hit the ball at all.
Because
You
I've
haven't
also
started
hit
playing
the
at
same
all.
amount of. Yeah,
You've got to start the game. You still have to score.
You've not hit
If you
the
just
least
stand
amount
at
of
the
shots,
start of the hole
because
and
you've
just
not
don't
shot
hit
any.
it, don't hit it.
Yeah. So-
Otherwise, you
win
just have
for-
Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods stood next to each other going, well, I'm not going to hit it. You hit it.
Everyone else is struggling. You just go to first hole and go, yep, there's my round in 0. Woo! And there is
Well-
my philosophy.
There's philosophy with Andrew Ward right there.
Jesus.
Okay, so a final segment.
Well, yeah,
We
we'll take
hope-
that and run into something hopefully better.
So we all
Feelings
know,
were
and
hurt
if you
there,
don't know,
Connor.
I'm going to tell you now, Jaden Smith, the son of Will Smith, the second son of Will Smith, I should say, because he had a son in his first marriage.
You mean
who
the
was
second coming of
completely messed up.
Jesus?
Yeah, so he regularly tweets the most stupid, like, completely questionable tweets ever. And up there with those tweets is Mr. Kanye West. And this is a gentleman who also tweets things completely questionable.
Kanye West currently in $53 million of debt.
I'll have you know that Kanye West is 50% more influential than any human being who has ever lived on this planet.
That's not true, though, is it, Kanye? You're just a bit of a tit.
You get those facts from your calendar, Andrew?
No, there was a rant. He's literally like, Taylor Swift insulted him. So he's backstage going, I am 50% more influential than any other human being. He names like pioneers in certain areas.
Oh, is that where that Deadpool thing came from? Was that taking the piss out of Kanye?
If it was in the film, no.
let's not stray too far away,
let's carry on.
You've lost
we
me.
could talk about Kanye.
Well,
for
no,
years.
sorry, just to briefly explain then, there was a petition for Deadpool to host Saturday Night Live.
Oh, yes, yeah, that's
It's
what
not
it
happened
was,
yet,
yeah.
and Ryan Reynolds, as to like a joke and go along with it, released like a shitty YouTube video of like almost like a voice recording of Deadpool, and he's just doing the same thing. He's like, I am 8% more, whatever it is, fucking
Oh no,
influential
Connor, that was. Sorry.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
That was taking the piss out of Kanye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, right, cool, good, because it didn't make any sense to me at the time. I was like, well, I guess it's Deadpool being
Because he's a
Deadpool,
gay fish.
But what are you, gay fish?
Okay, so
Right, yeah,
can I
back on
proceed?
track.
Yeah.
So I've got a selection of tweets from both Kanye and Jaden Smith. I'm going to read them out, and you're going to have to all guess, or you know what? You can reach a group decision as to whether it's
Okay.
Jaden or Kanye.
This
okay?
seems like it would be fairly easy, but I guess we'll find out as the game
Yeah,
goes on.
I've had to be very specific because they do tweet very different things, but there's a few that overlap that could be confused. So
Okay.
here's the first one. Sometimes I get emotional over fonts.
Jaden.
Yeah, straight away I'm leaning Jaden.
I'm pretty sure I've heard that before.
James?
How are
This
you
is a group
feeling?
thing.
This is
Okay.
where
I'm
it's
saying
Kanye.
Jaden.
Okay.
So
cool.
as a group, you're all agreeing Jaden.
Unanimous.
I bet it's...
It's Kanye.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Great start, boys. So, let me find another one. Why don't they make MacBooks that get online like the iPad?
Pardon?
Yeah,
Why
could you
don't they
repeat? That
make-
doesn't make sense.
That's
Why
Jaden.
don't-
That's Jaden. That's Jaden.
Why don't they make MacBooks that get online like the iPad?
That's Jaden.
I'll go Jaden.
I'll agree. Yeah, James seems confident.
So we all happy, Jaden?
We're going Jaden again.
That is Kanye.
Oh my god!
Yep.
Yeah, well
Sorry.
done, guys. Great.
What does he mean?
I don't know, Connor. Okay, so what about this one? If a bookstore never runs out of a certain book, does that mean that nobody reads it or everybody reads it?
I'm
That's Jaden.
gonna go
Sorry, we can't be
Jaden.
wrong 3 times in a row. That's Jaden.
Unanimous?
Unanimous.
That's Jaden.
Yes.
Thank God. Right.
So
1 out of 3.
you can discover everything you need to know about everything by looking at your hands.
Jaden.
We're not making this much of a game if we're just guessing Jaden every
You
time.
can't guess Jaden every time.
Well,
My
I'm
God.
thinking about this.
Because then you're going to get
because
it half
it
of
does
them
sound
right.
like a Jaden thing, but I
That's
don't know.
the beauty
Could
of the
Kanye have said
Kanye
that?
and Jaden ones.
James, mate, you've been quiet. Weigh in here. Help us out.
You can discover everything
it's hard,
you
though,
need to
'cause they
know
sound
about
exactly
everything
the same.
by looking at your hands.
Looking at your hands.
That's Jaden.
I need a unanimous decision.
Jaden.
I'll try again. I need a unanimous decision.
Connor, if you'd like to, chirp up.
Jaden.
Yeah, Jaden, I guess.
That
Because
was
Jaden's.
Jaden.
Yeah, say Jaden said stuff like. Oh, what am I thinking of? Something about toddlers being president? I don't know.
If a cupcake falls from a tree, how far away will it be from down?
Kanye.
I think we should
you like
point
me to
score
repeat?
now. I'll go Jaden.
I'm going Jaden again.
Well, how are we going to put... Has anyone got anything to write them down on?
We've got our minds.
Okay, so everyone's on 0 so
Yes,
far.
yes,
then.
yes. Go.
So everyone remember individually. If a cupcake falls from a tree, how far away will it be from down?
Kanye.
Jaden.
Jaden.
It is Jaden.
Yes.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Right,
I don't
okay.
think Kanye. I can't imagine Kanye saying cupcake.
1 James and
I don't-
Andrew, 0 Connor.
I don't want you
Oh,
guys
you two a
to...
team now, are you?
Should we try?
No, we've both got a
we try
point.
again?
Right, yeah, please.
I don't want you guys to think, because I was born in America, that I speak and abide by English grammar.
Kanye.
Jaden.
I'll say again, I don't want you guys to think, because I was born in America, that I speak and abide by English grammar.
Nope, Kanye. I'm going Kanye.
I'm going
all the way.
Jaden.
Thinks he's better than grammar. I'm going Kanye.
Kanye invented
James?
grammar.
Yeah, Kanye.
It is Jaden.
Yes!
What?
2-1.
Andrew, I'm going to have to point out, mate, you've guessed Jaden every time.
And
Yeah.
So you're bound to get at least half of them right.
this is like multiple choice algebra test where
I
you're just
have
like
to be honest, though.
A. At least get
I
some of them
left
right.
out the end of the tweet, which said, I speak Jaden.
Oh,
So
that-
he's saying, I don't abide by the English grammar, I speak Jaden.
you're a
So, yeah. So, here's the next one. If you have an apple and I have an apple and we exchange these apples, then you and I will still each have 1 apple.
That's just fact.
I'm going Jaden again.
I'm gonna convert to Team Jaden on this one. I don't think Kanye would waste his time doing something that stupid. This is
James?
where I'm wrong, and Kanye has done something that stupid.
James?
Yeah. Can you
Right.
repeat the question, please?
Right, so you weren't listening.
Could you
If you
listen,
ha-
please, James?
If you have an apple and I have an apple and we exchange these apples, then you and I will still each have 1 apple.
Lulu, you got some too.
I'm going
Lulu,
for-
let's
I'm going
get
for
together. I know what we can do, Lulu.
No, have ourselves a Lulu, Connor. Anyway,
sorry.
let's keep going. James?
You say Kanye, me and Andrew have gone Jaden.
Okay, it was Kanye.
Damn it.
Yeah, see?
2-all.
I said Kanye, you knob.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you
2-all,
get a
you
point.
mug.
You get
You
it's individual.
dick.
now.
Calm
He
down.
doesn't even realise we're
Jesus
playing
Christ.
separately anymore. James, mate, how much of his podcast have you actually listened to, considering you're a part of it?
A bit.
A bit.
Right, let's keep going because we're wasting time. People used to ask me, "What do you want to be when you get older?" And I would say, "What a stupid question. The real question is, what am I right now?"
Kanye.
James?
James didn't hear the question.
No, I did. Jaden.
It's Jaden Smith.
3-2.
I don't think I've got one right since we went.
No,
through
it's
this solo.
3-2-0. Okay, 2 more.
If you want to drink with me, book a table at the Spotted Pig when I'm back in NY. Obviously, New York.
Kanye.
Kanye.
New York. James?
Hey, Kanye, it's New York. That's my racist bit done for this week.
James?
Kanye.
It is Kanye.
Yay!
So what's that? That's 4-3-1. Okay.
Okay. I think I've got a few more, so we may as well do them all, because I've got 3 more.
Okay.
You would have to eat 5 apples today to get the same nutritional value as an apple from 1950.
James, you can go first this time.
You would have to eat 5 apples today to get the same nutritional value as an apple from 1950.
That's hard. Jaden.
Kanye.
Fuck. Connor's put his answer now. That's Jaden. I know it for a fact.
It is Jaden.
Christ.
Don't judge me, people.
Well, you know what? I'm happy that I've got nothing, because that means you two at least understand their stupid way of thinking if you're able to guess.
Connor,
it. So
I'm just
happy
50%
to
more.
completely detach myself
I'm
from this.
50% more
All we
influential
have-
than you.
All we have are our dreams, and you can step on our dreams and ideas all you want, but we won't stop fighting.
Kanye.
Kanye, it sounds like a motivator.
So, hey, I'm 50% more influential than you. What I say is, we got our dreams, or whatever.
And this
I'm
is
gonna
where
run for
James
president.
chips in.
This is where we wait for James again.
Is he still running for president, or has he given up now? Has he decided that was a bad idea?
No, that's
Kanye.
20. He's doing.
Well, no,
2020,
obviously he's
Connor.
not running now.
Right, James has said Kanye. I've said we've all said Kanye.
It's Kanye.
Woo!
And now, final one. My
Make it good.
daughter's only 6 months old and already drawing. I'd hang it on the fridge, but honestly, it's absolute garbage.
Ryan Reynolds.
Connor gets 5 points for that because it could have been anybody. Ryan Reynolds it is.
And I'm pretty sure he still loses.
No, 5 points.
No, 5
I was
points.
up from. That would have given me 7.
Yeah.
Ah,
he was
wow.
on 2. And
So what
Connor
I've done,
Marshall-
I've come back to win. So fuck y'all.
Rigged. Wow,
It's been the Peaky podcast for this week.
it's been
guys.
fantastic. I've had an absolute blast.
Great.
I've had a really
It's
good
been
time.
great chatting to you all.
We hope you at home have been listening and having just as good a time.
Yeah, we hope you've all
Hopefully
been.
You've listened more than James.
Yeah, I was
That'd be
literally just about to make that insult, but obviously you're 50% more influential than me on this
good.
podcast.
I certainly am.
so-
And with my influence, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring things to a close here. So once again, thanks for listening, guys. Make sure to like the Facebook page at www.facebook.com/peakypodcast. Make sure to like this video on YouTube if that's where you're watching. Comment down below telling us what you thought. And of course, subscribe to check out all the other videos we upload.
And we'll be back
We'll be back next week with a new podcast.
when Connor's had sexual intercourse with another car.
I will
Fact.
not. I will not have done that.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Bye. James, say bye.
Gonna have to reverse that this one.